I just finished doing a couple of bits and pieces. Anybody out there, can you hear me?
Is there anybody there?
Hello, Anna Karen. And hello, Christine. Oh, that's Andy having a big sneeze.
Something like that.
Hi, Katinka. And Sarah, hello. Oh, I'm glad the sound's all right. I always sort of worry about that, although I shouldn't really, because it's a reasonably new phone. Hi, Sharon. How are we all doing? Are we well? We've had a busy day today. So a bit of a stitchy sesh is definitely my jam this evening. I'll start from this edge of it, I think. As you can see, I have my autumn waltz out tonight. Get some progress in on this one. Hello, Sandy. Hi, Missy. Hope you're all doing well. So, yeah, I'm busy on autumn waltz. Get a bit of progress in on this one. Currently at 14%. So, yeah, this one is going to be a fairly quick finish. If it's not finished by the end of this year, it'll certainly be done in the early part of next. Hi, Chantal. And Nadelsucht, how are you doing this evening, Nadelsucht? How are you doing? Yes, it is really growing, Sharon. It's doing really, really well. I'm thrilled to bits with it. Jamie, hello. How are you doing this evening? And Mrs. Miggins. Christine, working and stalking. Hi, Gio. Camera quake there. Hannah's just rumbled past the camera. I would say walk past, but it was more like a rumble past.
Lauren's about to follow.
Yeah. Hey, Lauren, how you feeling?
I mean, the hot water helps. So.
Okay.
You are cruel to me at times.
I am not cruel. I'm getting abused by my kids now. That's nice, isn't it?
Why are you?
One kid.
Hang on. How come Mum's? How come? What's all that about?
Because I said that she didn't walk past, she more like rumbled past.
It worked. It worked rumbling.
It was a proper camera quake. So, what we're all working on? Have we had a good week? Any news that you want to share? I've got a couple of bits. So, first and foremost, if you've seen my floss tube, you'll have seen I've had my hair cut. So, I look like a different woman. If you've seen my Instagram, and if you are friends with me on Facebook, you would have seen that we completed, I completed and we delivered the letterbox topper for our lovely friend Matilda and her mum. So I don't know if you put a post on your TVI page yet?
No, because it's in the Christmas special. I don't want to spoil it for people.
Well, people have seen it on my profile and that now, so you may as well. Just put a full clip coming up in the Christmas special. So yes. We've had a nice day today. We popped down to Nottinghamshire to deliver on Saturday with Lauren. And we had a lovely day doing Christmas shopping. And me and Andy were in Cumbria early part of the week. I'm going back to work. 2 weeks of annual leave, and I've been so busy. It's been ridiculous. So Nadal such haven't stitched since a week, but my second sock for my hubby is ready, so I can cast on. So I cast on the first. Brilliant. Mrs. Miggins, All Hallows Eve by Haid. How far are you along on that, Mrs. Miggins? Be interested to know. Hello, Rose. How are you doing this evening? Sarah, working on Warrior Alice out of print from Eclectic Bloke Designs and looking forward to a week off work with the hubby. So I see Master for a brief spell I see there. And a week off work with the hubby at his parents. Are you taking something with you to do? Are you taking Warrior Alice with you? Or the Master? Topper is brilliant. You did really well. Senior Topper, beautiful. Thank you. It was one of those things we had to be very considerate that we were going somewhere where, it was going somewhere that is not affiliated with any particular religion. So it had to have decoration on it, which were sort of general and across the board. And Matilda and her mum absolutely loved it. So, yeah.
Well, we think we did a good job. Well, I know you did a good job. I keep
saying I'm an enthusiastic amateur.
You are talented with a crochet hook, and please don't try and tell me you're not.
I mean, you've been teaching me how to crochet.
Yeah, well, and you need to carry on learning them some more, don't you?
Well, you can do chains, you can do doubles, you can do trebles now, can't you?
She can do chains and she can do single crochets at the moment. Or is it doubles?
You can do
Doubles. Right.
See, even I know the terminology.
I get them mixed up sometimes. Okay, so Anna Karen, taking a break from Princess Alana, only the skin, the back stitching, the beads left. So I started crocheting a blanket while procrastinating on how to stitch her skin. Yeah. Is that one that you can do petty point 1/1, or just do it sort of in line with the other stitches, Anna Karen? Is it one of those? Do I do it in petty point or do I do it in standard? Hi, Jody. How are you this evening? Hope you're well. Hi, Norma. Sharon, my normal Haid babies and butterflies, 87.29. That'll be done before Christmas, I'm sure, Sharon. I'm pretty sure that, you will be getting through that one fairly soon. 936. And then what's next? Mrs. Miggins, 32,135, 14.01%. So a bit of a way to go. Yeah. But I'm sure you'll enjoy every stitch. And Anna Karen, yes. So you're going between the regular stitching and the petty points. Petty point always looks good, but it takes such a long time, doesn't it? Hello, Sherry. Wow, there's a lot of you in tonight. I've got 30 of you. Oh, 26 now. What did I say?
I don't think you said anything.
Lots of you in tonight. Oh, 24. What did I do?
You're jinxing it.
Oh, I actually shut up then, didn't I?
Keep talking, you're fine.
Sandy, Deer Creek, Donegal Singer Stocking, 21.19%. Great stuff, Sandy. It's coming on that, isn't it? All right, sweetie. So this week I have been working on Envy, I've been working on Stitching Shelf. I've been working on Mary Princess, and I've been working on my Lord of the Rings stained glass, doing that black on it. And of course this one. So more stitching than I thought, and of course finishing off the topper. If you do watch my floss tube tomorrow, I'll get Andy to pop the pictures in if you've not seen them. So yeah, I've had such a busy week, you know, really busy week. Monday morning I filmed my floss tube, I filmed a stitch with me. We went off up to Cumbria. We didn't have great weather because we were going yet again in another storm. That was Storm Debbie. So we did get a little bit rained on, but we did, to be fair, largely dodge the weather. Managed to stop on my diet as well, and oh yeah, managed to stop on my diet throughout my time in Cumbria, so it paid off when I came back on Thursday and I got weighed, and I've lost another 3 pounds. So 3 stone 1 pound, or 43 pounds altogether, which isn't bad. Keep going. It's going to plateau out soon, and I know this, but you know, while I'm getting those losses, I'm absolutely embracing them, because you know, I'm just loving how much better I'm feeling. And it was quite interesting because Andy said that I didn't miss a beat with the walking, and I didn't, you know, dodge anything or say, can I shortcut, or, oh, how much longer have we got to do? And, oh, when you're going back to the hotel room, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I need to sleep. I just got on with it.
You said that, not me.
Yeah, but I didn't, but yeah, but you also were fairly chuffed about it, weren't you?
You could say that.
So, lots of good stuff going on. Oh, excuse me. Oh, drink a tea. Sharon, once it finished before Christmas, then we'll start 2. Another Haid Hot Air Balloon Sunrise, and Thread Geeks James Bond going to try a rotation. Brilliant. Sounds like you've got 2 different pieces there, Sharon, as well, which will, you know, be helpful in the rotation. I find that because mine have got, you know, different themes and different subject matters, it, you know, it really does, you know, help with, it feels fresh when you pick up something new. So well done, fantastic. Thank you for your compliments. Glad Cumbria went down well, Jamie. Yes, it did. We visited 6 villages, Andy.
6 villages,
Yeah.
all with a very industrial past.
Yeah, and I slipped over in a muddy graveyard, and I got mucky knees at one point.
And that was the last one on the second day.
Yeah.
You were literally yards from the car. And to be honest with you, you know, at that point we were heading back to the hotel anyway. Yep. So you weren't all that mucky for that long. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, obviously it was the only time I've gone for a Burton in a little while. So and it was simply because it was a path that looked flat, but when I walked on it, it had a bit of a camber to it. And then, you know, it was like flipping Bambi on ice. It really were. My arms and legs were everywhere. You weren't that bad. I felt that bad. All you did really was you didn't hurt yourself. It was like a scramble, weren't it? You didn't hurt yourself. All you did was just muck your trainers up and get your hands a bit mucky. Muck my trainers up, muck my hands up, and I got 2 mucky knees. But within half an hour, you were back in the hotel and back to normal, so you were fine. I felt like a plum, though. So, but yeah, it was great. You know, we had a nice sort of 3 days.
the travelling up there, we were travelling through the storm, and we were literally pretty much in the eye of the storm at one bit, weren't we?
We were getting battered a bit.
Yeah, we were definitely getting blown about, and then we went into the eye of the storm, and it was calmer, and then it's got a bit rough again, because when we were at Tim Hortons, it were a bit calmer, weren't it, at Penrith?
But all the villages, the weather was good.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the first one, Camerton, we got a bit blown about, but you know, really it was only when we sort of got to the church, which was kind of outlying, and it was in open area next to a river, so you're going to get a breeze there, aren't you? So, let's have a look. Glad Cumbria went down well. Yes, it did. And I have to be honest, and I apologise in advance to anybody in here who is from the Cumbria area. It isn't my favourite place in the world, but I did enjoy the time that we spent there. And, you know, there's still a lot of houses up there which have solid fuel heating. And the smell of coal took me right back to my childhood, because where I live, it's in a coal, you know, in the midst of a coal field, and I grew up smelling the smell of coal fires, and I haven't smelt one in quite some time. And then sort of going back, you know, in time, just that smell, it evoked quite a lot of memories.
There is a coal theme up there. I mean, obviously it was very,
yeah.
Even though it's very rural on the outskirts of Workington, there is a
coal heritage.
There is a big industrial sort of feel to it all.
Yeah.
Not just coal. There was clay. There was furnaces. There was iron ore mining. There was quarrying. There was all kinds of stuff going on. But you just don't realise it these days.
No.
None of it's there anymore. You know. It's all gone.
No, that's right. Jodie, congrats on the weight loss and the new haircut. Love it. Yeah. And I love it now. I mean, it's had a couple of washes, and my hair has a very slight wave in it. And after having sort of, you know, a few washes, it's, you know, after being into the hairdressers and it's settling down, you can see the wave in it now. And I just love it. Kind of wonder why I didn't have my hair chopped off before.
no one was stopping you. I mean, you'll probably say that, oh, Andy prefers you with your long hair. Well,
yeah.
Generally speaking, I do, but I think actually it's worked out all right.
Yeah, you just like me to be happy, don't you?
Always.
Is there James Bond on it? If so, which one? So glad for you both. Thanks, Jamie. Is it a general meeting tomorrow night? Is it everybody? Yeah, we'll be in the meeting tomorrow night chatting about it, I'm sure. I fell over once taking my dog right in the middle of soggy mud. All I could do was laugh and look around to see if anyone had seen me. You do feel like an absolute wally, though, don't you, Mrs. Miggins, when that happens? I know I did. I was cross at myself because I'd misjudged it. And I wasn't sure if I'd hurt myself. And then, you know, by the end of it, I looked back and I thought, oh, God, what an idiot. So, had all the faces of James Bond. It's a monochrome from Sean Connery to Daniel Craig. Ooh. Might have to have a look at that one. Did you say that was unconventional? Going back. Oh, Thread Geeks. Yeah. So yeah, we've had a busy week, and you know, I've had out of 12 days off, I have done some stitching in between, and I've done some bits of crochet as well, obviously. But I don't know. But out of those 12 days off, I have had one day to dedicate to me stitching, and that was Friday. So Friday, I said to Andy, that's it, I'm going to stitch all day long. So that's what I did. Just got my stitching out, sat here and stitched away.
Well, you might.
But yes, back to work tomorrow, back to the daily grind. Bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And apparently we have snow coming in next, so that'll be our next weather system. Some snow, 2 centimetres an hour they're predicting in some parts, aren't they? Which is ridiculous. But that's the extremes of weather that we have in the UK. A couple of months ago we were all sweating. Now we're all soaking wet. Next thing you know, we'll be freezing in snow. So
Well, I never knew that.
I'm not doing the background, and then it's a memorial piece for my hubby. He's lost his brother earlier this year. He was a big Bond fan. That sounds lovely, Sharon. And it's a lovely thing to do. Yes, Jamie. Snow for Andy.
Oh, don't worry about me. I've walked around in snow before.
Yeah. Well, we've got the welly boots now. And the welly boots definitely came in handy in Cumbria. Incidentally, when I fell over, I wasn't wearing them, which was kind of a daft thing, really, but we didn't think we needed them. So oh dear. So today, after we came back from Nottingham, we had a Sunday dinner as usual. Nothing terribly exciting. We just had a gammon today. And it's been an afternoon with stitching for me. So but yeah, me and Lauren were in Manchester yesterday for the Christmas market, which was quite nice. And we spent the day wandering around Manchester, the markets, the Arndale Centre. We got caught in a little bit of rain there, didn't we, Lauren, at one point?
Yeah, it weren't much though.
No, it weren't much.
I even remember we went and found somewhere to sit
So,
down
yeah,
and had a cuppa.
yeah, we did. It was very busy. We went on the train from Sheffield. The train was 20 minutes late getting there, and the train was 10 minutes late arriving back in Sheffield. No real reason for it, no reason given. But yeah, we set off on the train. I did 20,000 steps yesterday, which is an awful lot for me. So but it'll all help that weight loss, won't it? Jamie will be in Liverpool next Sunday for the Christmas market. Well, if you're going on the train, Jamie, be prepared, because there was a lot of delays at Liverpool way. When, the train that we were on was continuing on to Liverpool, and when we were coming home, we were watching the departure boards, and it seemed like lots of the trains to Liverpool were getting delayed. So if you're going by train, just be prepared for that. Oh, and I managed to throw coffee all over some poor lady on the train as well. Me and Lauren had got a coffee in the station and we sat on the train with it. And I finished mine. I said to Lauren, have you finished yours? And she said, yeah. So I thought, oh, great. I stacked one cup inside the other. Yeah. Lauren still had some coffee inside it. So when we were sat on one of the table seats, and I was sat next to this lady, and Lauren was sat opposite me next to her husband, and his coffee splashed all over this poor woman. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. She went, don't worry. I'm going to see my grandchild, and I'm going to get muckier than this, so it's fine. Don't worry. And I felt so awful.
I can't count how many times you told.
And I know.
about the coffee thing.
I know, but I felt so bad. I don't think I've ever done anything like that before. I'm pretty sure that you'd feel bad too. So I did a bit of the dreaded Christmas shop. Got a few gifts to add to some that I got in Nottingham. And I went out shopping Thursday, I think it was, with Hannah. And we got a few more bits, so I'm getting there. I've still got some more shopping to get, but you know, the idea with this annual leave was for me to finish my Christmas shopping, but best laid plans and all that. Too busy travelling around.
Well, very dare you.
I've packed in a lot this last 12 days. I've had my nails done, a haircut, an overnight trip to Nottingham, 3 days in Cumbria, a day in Manchester, a day of Christmas shopping, 2 weigh-ins, 2 Sunday dinners, and a partridge in a pear tree. I've done a lot.
Haven't you just?
I was tired this morning. I didn't want to get up this morning. And after I'd had my dinner, you know when you have that after dinner tiredness? Because you've got a full tummy and you could just sit in front of telly and fall. Well, we don't watch telly much in this house anyway. You could just fall asleep. I was trying not to fall asleep over my stitching earlier.
Oh, is this the right Langton?
Oh, excuse me.
2 miles west of Doncaster, yes it is.
Oh, there we go. We definitely have new neighbours over the road, and the old neighbour over the road seems to have vanished off the face of the earth. She's not been around on TikTok begging for money for a long time.
Wow.
Missy, I'm lucky this year, only 5 Christmas gifts to buy. Only the children under 18 gets gifts. To be fair, we don't buy a lot, but we buy some things, you know, for the children every year. But we don't buy an awful lot. And I've got like my stepdad and his parents to buy for. My sister, my brother always says don't bother, but I usually get him something token, even if it's a box of biscuits. And then obviously we've got my children and Andy's children, and that's it. Because you know we don't sort of go massively, you know, overboard on Christmas presents. I think for us it's more important to have that time. My stepdad will be coming here and spending Christmas with me. And Hannah will go with him to his house on Christmas night so that he's not alone, because he can't stop here because he has got a dog and I've got a cat, and never the twain shall meet.
They don't like each other.
They definitely don't like each other.
Mind you, not many people like our cat.
No. Well, to be fair, our cat's just Mardy bum.
Telling me.
If she were any different, though, then we'd wonder what we're wrong.
I suppose.
Poor old Lauren's got a bit of a dicky tummy. I don't know if it's the bubble tea or the churros that she had yesterday.
I think it might be that sausage son. Yeah, I don't know.
You'd have felt it before now. You'd have felt it yesterday, tea time. Yeah, it could be the sausage sandwich, though. You're quite right. But you'd have probably felt it before now. James Bond ordered. Sharon, it looks like you're enabling.
Oh, blimey. I need to think here.
Oh, thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Andy's busy editing.
I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm finding images for a load of thumbnails which are coming up in future episodes. I've got to think here what number I'm up to in the Easter Riding. Does anybody who watches me have any clue what number I'm up to in the
Look
Easter
on
Riding?
your YouTube channel.
Yeah, but I've got a different thing up.
Look on your phone.
Oh, that's the point.
Oh, it's so lazy.
Look on my phone. Yes, I forgot. I've got a phone.
How did you forget you have a phone?
Oh, dear. Sometimes living with Andy can be very bizarre.
What do you mean sometimes?
Most of the time.
You can talk. Both of us have to deal with you.
Oi, you
True.
look at me.
Rude.
Honest.
Rude.
Honest.
Rude.
Do you know?
I'm saying nothing.
You know it, right?
Settle down, children.
Or else what?
You'll all be in trouble.
Aldborough 127.
I do enjoy stitching this piece. Just these little motifs feel like a little finish all of their own. Makes a big difference.
That must be 132.
You know, if this carries on going so well, I could end up to only taking 9 full coverages or 9 work in progresses into 2024. That'd be good. Because my end dates with 10, my end dates are starting to get longer. I'm in confetti hell on my dear's ear. I feel that one, Jodie. Sometimes you can take all day just putting 10 stitches in. Or it seems like all day. My Josephine Wall and Sailing Fairy are both have patches of heavy confetti. So I feel what you're meaning on that. But this is nice because it's blocks of colour and I'm quite enjoying the change. It's my loop.
Hey.
Yes, Mrs. Miggins, I will be going back to work for a rest. Most definitely. This is such a beautiful piece. What will it be? Looking hopefully to make this one into a cushion front, cushion cover. So what's that gone wrong there? Jamie, going to get off, Nicky, but enjoyed watching. See you tomorrow for another live on TVI. Yep, no problem at all, Jamie. I will probably be there because I'm pretty sure that Andy, why have I got an end come through like that? Do something very unusual here and flip my piece over. You never see it back in my work, do you?
Yeah, I think you should maybe show it a few times though, because I mean, I imagine that a lot of stitchers out there are quite interested in how neat the back of each other's work pieces are. I think yours is extremely neat on the back. You can almost present the back as the piece.
Yeah, you can make out what it is, can't you?
Yeah.
Well, you can on this one. Okay. Come on. Thank you. That's the only problem.
What?
Is that it loses focus. But yes, rarely do I flip my piece over if I can help it, because I'm utterly lazy with that. I agree with Andy, your back is very neat. Yeah. I do try and keep them neat if I can. Which one looks fluffy?
Fluffy?
I think it's stitching shelf. Let me show you the back of stitching shelf, because I've got it right next to me. See, this one is definitely not so neat. It looks sort of quite fluffy, and as you can see, all the thread ends are all that way because of how I finished the threads. But I suppose you can still see, you know, the backs of the stitches. So just the way I put it together, I suppose, isn't it? I quite like, I think it's Holbein embroidery. It's like a form of black work where it's made to look like lace, and the back and the front are meant to be identical. I've never got to be able to do that, never once. But I do try and keep my backs fairly neat and bulk free if I can.
Oh dear. Having some fun with this.
But to be fair, it doesn't actually matter how your back looks, because it's how the front looks that's important. The only thing is that if you're travelling a fair distance over the back, it can pull on and pucker the stitches, which will make it not look right at the front. So that's the only thing, isn't it? That stitching shelf looks like my age, thank goodness. I was panicking when I saw the autumn. Yeah, the stitching shelf's a max colour as well. So, but it's still not bulky, and you can actually see through the ends of the threads, you can see the stitches, or, you know, the arm, you know, the back arm of the stitches. So I think it's because I like to sort of try and stitch in rows when I'm doing a colour with a few stitches, rather than stitch each individual stitch. So, because when you see the back of this one, you can clearly see that I've stitched in rows.
I still maintain that you're very talented.
It's following a pattern. I suppose, I mean, there's something in keeping the tension right and making the stitches look neat and all the same way in the habit that I'm in, but it's just following a pattern, really.
I've told you before, as far as following patterns go, you are the world champion.
I am not.
Well, put it this way, I can't stitch.
You can. You're better than you think. Told you this before.
Yeah, and how much do you think I actually believe that?
Not very.
Hmm?
Not very
Not
much.
very much, no. Better image. How hard is it to find a decent picture of Eden?
Very
Big
apparently.
enough town.
Oh dear. Excuse me. That's that relaxation. I mean, that little square's jumped my stitch count up quite significantly. It's 3827. Missy, my great granny, when she was stitching the back of work, was amazing, almost as beautiful as the front. Yeah, mine will never be as beautiful as the front. It'll never look like the front. But to be fair, I mean, if you can distinguish what it is, you know, mind you, even if I can't, I'm still happy because the back's not on show, is it? We're always just going to show the front. So is that banging?
Sorry, it was me.
Oh, I thought it was the noisy ones next door.
Yes, they have been making quite a lot of noise today.
They've been making a lot of noise just lately, full stop.
It seems to have quieted down now. I think maybe the kids have gone to bed.
Either that or they're not in.
Oh yes, they do have a penchant, shall we say, for taking the kids out late.
Yeah, coming back in at 10 o'clock at night with a toddler and a baby. Not what I would do, but each to their own.
Right, let's try that again, shall we?
I heard them having an argument the other week in the middle of the night, 1:15 in the morning, going at it, hammer and tongs, effing and jeffing at one another while seeing to the baby. And I'm thinking, have you woken a toddler up and all? Wouldn't have surprised me. Wasn't very nice though, and I was getting ready to put my dressing gown on and go and knock on the door and say, hey, oh, you need to stop that.
In true Yorkshire fashion. Hey, oh.
I would have done it and all. Because, you know, it doesn't matter how old your child is, if you expose them to that sort of negative and aggressive language, you can damage them from an early age. It'd be awful.
Now, why have I never done that before?
I don't know, Andy, why have you never done that before?
Because I never realised you could do it.
Oh, okay. 3857. I'm cracking through this one tonight. Back in you go. Out you come. It's almost like a breath of fresh air when I get this piece out. Puts a pep in my step in stitching terms.
Well, it's different to your others, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems a lot simpler. Would you say it's a lot
It's a
simpler?
faster stitch for sure.
Well, there's less to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's going to look good when it's finished.
Well, I would hope all my stitching will look good when it's finished.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Just trying to pay you a compliment there.
Hannah wants me to make her a blanket, crochet blanket, in using the same basket weave pattern I used to make the base of the topper. So that'll be fun. Maybe I ought to teach Hannah to crochet.
I still think you might be getting orders for making postbox stockings.
And I still think I might be saying, no. I am just an enthusiastic amateur. I am not a professional.
Yeah, the look on Matilda and her mother's face did not tell me that.
Well, for those of you that haven't seen it, I had 4 elements on top. There was a Christmas tree, which I decorated with buttons to be the baubles, because I figured that they were nice and long lasting, and I didn't have to faff around with, bauble, crochet baubles or, anything like that. And I crocheted a yellow star for the top. I also made a large present in purple with a yellow ribbon, which I stitched down, so if it ever did come undone, it won't come off. And then I made a mitten, red mitten with a white cuff and a white outline, and on the outline there was some lazy daisy stitch, snowflake star kind of shapes on it, flowers, however you'd put it. And then I actually also crocheted a letter.
Yes, an actual.
And did it so that it could be stuffed. So everything was sort of stuffed with polyester filling. And it says on the letter, I also stitched the words to heaven, so that represented letters to heaven, which was the postbox. And I did the letter in white, but with the border and the lettering in red. And then to the edge of the outside of the topper, I put some tinsel. When we went shopping on Thursday, I went into the range.
You've got a little bit left here.
Oh, yes, I have. And I found this tinsel, and I've got a little bit of it left. And it has these gorgeous robins. And, because of the saying that when robins appear, that loved ones are near. So I figured that would be a really nice element. So that went round the edge. Thank you, Andy.
I just remembered.
And, it just went, like I said, I couldn't use any religious iconography. I couldn't put a cross on there, and I didn't even really want anything like an angel if I could help it. I did make a poinsettia, a crochet poinsettia, but when I put it together, I didn't like it. And it was quite funny because Matilda's mum said, I'm really glad that you didn't put the poinsettia on, because my mother hated poinsettias. And it was her mother was, the person who had been lost for Matilda to have the idea of the postbox, Matilda's granny.
Oh,
So, yeah, so the poinsettia was a disaster.
I mean,
Well,
it looks okay. Let's be honest. I mean, it's not the worst thing you've ever crocheted.
yeah, it's not great. It looks more like a Christmas rose.
Well, that's what poinsettias
No,
are.
it's not.
They're Christmas flowers, aren't they?
It's a Christmas flower. So it's not the greatest thing in the world. Didn't really like it. So, yeah, I mean, I also crocheted some long white strings so that we could tie it to the top of, because that's the other thing you don't think about. When you're making something like this, how is it going to attach? But I knew that it was on a post. So, you know, I crocheted some long white strings to come down the sides to be wrapped around and tied to the post. And it actually went on nice and firm, didn't it?
Yeah.
So.
And then obviously the wind caught hold of the front of it.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to stick it down with a bit of double-sided tape.
Yeah, they just stick the tinsel part to the underside of the box.
But the actual topper itself is not going to go anywhere.
No.
It's tied down securely enough,
Yeah.
unless someone purposely unties it from underneath.
Yeah. And I can't see as anybody would be so vindictive as to do that. So. Your topper turned out awesome. Thank you, Jodie. I love the letter stroke envelope, my favourite piece. Yeah. And you know what? That was really a last minute thing because I was getting ready to complete it on Thursday. And I said to Andy, I said, I think I need to do a letter for the top.
It was
like
an inspired move.
Yeah.
It's completely Nikki's idea. I have no input in it. To be fair, I've had very minimal input in the whole thing.
The only input that you had was taking me to Hobbycraft to buy the stuff.
Pretty much.
And taking me down there to place it on the letterbox. Oh, speaking of Hobbycraft, I don't know if she's in here, but one of you lovely lot spotted me and Andy, and I was actually with Lauren that day in Hobbycraft.
Buying the stuff for the topper.
Buying the stuff for the topper. If ever you see me out and about, please say hello to me. Tell me who you are, because I love to talk to people who, know who I am. So, don't feel, that you can't approach me, because I'm very approachable. I mean, I will admit that there were part of me that day was going around Hobbycraft in a bit of a mood because I wanted a styrofoam shape and I couldn't get it. But I think it's because styrofoam is now on the banned items list here in the UK.
Is it actually banned?
Yeah, well, I think so. Although annoyingly, I did see some with Hannah in, I think it was in the range.
All right.
Because I figured a styrofoam cone would be perfect for the tree. Couldn't get one. So very annoying. They only had Oasis floral Oasis, and it was the real Oasis, not the, because there was like a hard sponge Oasis and a soft Oasis, and that was the only one that they had. And I was like, yeah, as soon as we as soon as the topper gets wet, that'll disintegrate. So but I tell you, trying to find styrofoam shapes, impossible. What we got here? 3826. It was fun though, because I had sort of lots of ideas in my head, and going on the internet and finding the patterns for them was quite fun. And I'd not really followed crochet patterns before. I know how to do it, but I'd not really done it because I'd usually just done crochet from what's in my head.
And like I said to you earlier, Nick, any crochet pattern that you follow, came out of somebody's head originally. So
Yeah.
why couldn't it be yours? Personally, I think it was a very, very big success.
Well, it certainly was successful when Matilda and her mum met us this morning, weren't it?
They loved it. They were so happy.
It was quite funny because we were both we put it on the bench and we were both stood in front of it, and they walked up to us and we're like, you have no idea why you're here, do you? And they're like, no, not a clue.
They soon found out.
Yeah, and they were blown away. Lovely.
Of all the people we've met this year, I think those two are probably up there with the best, aren't they?
Yeah.
They probably are the best. No offense to anybody else.
Last year for me was the people at Blighton Windmill.
Yeah. This year.
This year is definitely Leanne and Matilda for sure.
I think they've just become genuine friends, haven't they?
Yeah.
I had no hesitation in telling Matilda the first time we went down there. It was like meeting a celebrity.
Mm. Well, she is. I mean, she's been in local and national newspapers. She's been on local and national television. She's travelled internationally. She's met prime ministers and politicians and been given a number of awards. She has had an amazing year. I
mean, some people who have met me say it's like meeting a celebrity, but I'm like, no, it's not. The thing is that, you know, even if you've got like an online presence like myself and like Nikki has, or you famous for some other reason locally or whatever, like Matilda is, you're not really a celebrity. I mean, they're down to earth people, aren't they? They're not anything. They're not the kind of person that you would regularly see on the telly or something like that. You know, hosting shows and stuff like that. Not an A-list.
I had people last year at the retreat though coming up to me saying, "Oh, you're Nicola. You're Simply Stitcher. I'm such and such a person. I follow you on Instagram or whatever." Yeah. I get blown. I genuinely do get blown away when somebody recognises who I am.
I have two types of people basically. I have the ones who definitely know it's me and are quite thrilled to see me, and the ones who don't know it's me and are very curious.
And then when they find out what you do, for the vast majority of them are bowled over, aren't they? Really?
Pretty much, yeah.
I have done nearly 200 stitches on this already. This is such an easy stitch.
From what I can see from here, it looks nice.
Thank you, Lauren. Always good when you get high praise from the kiddo.
Our Lauren will do that though. Our Lauren's quite good at dishing praise out.
You all right, chicken? Is your tummy churning again? No? Okay.
No, it's just because I got like 2.5 hours sleep last night.
Is that all you got?
Well, it's not far away from your bedtime now anyway, so school in the morning, kiddo.
I'm gonna imagine that you don't really want to pull a sickie tomorrow because
She'll lose her attendance, won't she?
Yeah. Lauren has a thing at school.
Yeah.
what her school do, it's kind of unusual in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I had to speak up a bit, Andy. People won't hear you.
So what Lauren's school do, it's something kind of unusual to do with attendance. Normally, at a secondary school like hers, you get awards if you go through the whole year and not miss a day or whatever, something like that. And they give you said award at the end of the year. However, what this school do is that they give them a little badge, which they wear on their blazers, and if they miss a day, they lose the badge. Right. So if you still sorry.
And you have to give it back to
Yeah.
the tutor.
Yeah.
It's harder to hold on to something than it is to earn it.
But it's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as long as it's there, you think to yourself, I want to keep it there. It's a good idea, actually. It's kind of reverse psychology in a way, isn't it?
And then at the end of the year, we've got
And then you get your award, don't you, and your certificates.
yeah.
Yes, because Lauren at 14 has never missed a day of school ever.
Not in primary, not in nursery, not in
Infant.
anything. Lauren has been a mainstay.
Logged on every day for remote learning during the pandemic.
Even though I was on TikTok for most of the time.
Still logged
You
on.
shouldn't be admitting that.
Yeah, but that was year 7. So
And that was at a different school.
yeah.
No, they can't really count the pandemic, can they? It was a different time that.
Mm.
And we've got to have our cameras and mics off, so you know. And I'd say I did get the email for the link to the PE remote learning, but I just deleted the email for it. Because I never liked PE.
Well, you're very naughty.
It's going to be a bump a couple of weeks. Metheringham is going to come straight after Branston. 2 big ones. Knocker Stephen.
Missy says that's amazing. Yeah, absolutely, Missy, it is. I mean, since Lauren was 3 and she's now 14, she's not missed a single day of her education.
Ooh.
So that's 11 years. Hannah didn't miss very much.
Hardly any. Hannah was quite keen on going to school.
She missed a bit in junior school because when she had chicken pox. And then and then Victoria got chicken pox.
Have I ever had chicken pox?
Yeah, you got them in a school holiday though.
I got lucky.
You've got a chicken pox scar on your forehead, I think. You know, there's like a little dimple that you've got in there somewhere.
Didn't that come from her accident with the heater?
No. There's still something different.
Oh.
I'll have to find your chicken pox scar.
Yeah, 'cause the one I do is the one to-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mid the forehead, the one from radiator.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren got chicken pox when school was on holidays. So
So basically, I got lucky with the timing.
very lucky. Split a block.
Oh, what was I meant to be? Hang on.
Hannah got her chicken pox just before half term, and Victoria got hers just after half term. So between them both, they had a month off. Well done, Lauren. My son got to year 10 and used to get the SNE certificates. He then said he was going to have a day off in year 10 as he wasn't going to get called out for an award. They have a an awards ceremony in Sheffield City Hall every year, an annual awards ceremony, and the kids get to go there and spend the day there, and they have like music and movement and singing and
It depends on whether you're performing or not.
yeah,
If you're not performing, you get to go like after first or second period.
yeah,
But and if you are performing, you go right at the start of the day.
yeah.
That way you've got some time to rehearse before everyone else comes in.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sharon's foot then broke his foot playing football in year 10. Ouch.
I'm now thinking of Operation Ouch.
You're going to have to enlighten me.
That's with, is it the two twin doctors,
Yeah.
Christian and,
I can't remember the names.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I think I do know what it is. I think.
one was called Christian.
Was it on the BBC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Jodie, back again.
And when they were describing what happened to the people,
8,
it
1,
always be
4.
animated.
Oh, what have I done here?
Don't know what have you done. I think he hit that Christian bloke. He was on Embarrassing Bodies. Do you remember watching that Embarrassing Bodies?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Right. Here in the UK, we have like a watershed for television. Certain things they do not show until after 9 o'clock. We're talking things like any nakedness, things like a bare bosom, bare breasts, that kind of thing, a bare bottom, and language. Bad language is normally kept after the watershed. Andy and I were in Oslo.
We weren't. We were on the boat.
No, it was in Oslo. It was in the hotel room in Oslo.
It was on the boat and all.
Yeah, but we were watching it first of all in Oslo.
All right.
And we were looking at the television, and we rarely watch television. We seldom watch it wherever we are. This particular night, we decided to put television on, and they were showing Embarrassing Bodies, which, if you don't know what it is, it's where, you go to a TV doctor and you've got some ailment, and it's usually something that's quite embarrassing. So it might be something to do with your private parts, for example. And this in the UK is a watershed programme. It is not shown until after 9 o'clock, and usually not until after 10, I don't think. It's one of those programmes that's on fairly late because there's a lot of nudity in it. And this is like 7 o'clock in the evening in Oslo. And all we can see is bottoms and boobs and things that dangle. And oh my God, I was like, hang on a minute, what time is it?
It's different in
Different
Europe.
culture.
It's different in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, if that was in the UK, it would not have been shown at that time, ever.
I mean, I don't know what that says about us as a country, to be fair, but
He says we're fairly prudish.
well,
I certainly wouldn't be, I mean, I don't mind walking around in privacy of my own home, like upstairs, if I'm going between the bathroom and the bedroom. If the girls are around, they are quite used to seeing me walk around and not have very much on, if anything at all. But I certainly wouldn't be parading my bits on TV, that's for sure. Only if they were going to give me some free plastic surgery to get rid of this mummy tummy. Because I have a big mummy tummy.
keep going with the weight loss, Nicky. That's sorting that out.
Well, we're trying. Keep trying.
You've lost 3 stone, woman. It's more than trying. That's succeeding, that is.
There can be nudity in morning TV in Denmark. Holy moly. But here it doesn't happen. I mean, there was a segment on This Morning where they were doing about particular male and female cancers like testicular cancer, breast cancer, and so on. And they actually did have, you know, an examination of live on air, and that caused uproar. Can you remember?
I don't say as I can remember it, but I can believe it happened.
Yeah, it caused uproar.
I can believe it happened. The thing is, on daytime TV, they can kind of get away with it because there's not many people watching.
Yeah, but it caused uproar for them that did. Funny, isn't it? Hi, may I ask what is holding your hoop on the left? So there's nothing on this side.
What?
This is just flappy hanging, Linda. And this is obviously my Lowry, so I just sort of folded the fabric up to stop it hanging down, and I've got a clip, which just a gentle fabric clip, which just keeps the fabric pinned out of this arm's way. Because sometimes if it hangs down, it messes with my hand underneath. if you see what I mean. I like watching you stitch, thank you. Yeah, this is the clamp for my Lowry stand. So you might see it's upside, you know, you might consider it to be upside down. It's one of them things. Turn it over, flipping my hoop again. So it's like a clamp. Which just sort of opens and closes. I can't really sort of show it any other way, I don't think. And the Lowry's height adjustable, and the bar makes it so that it's I can move it more that way. It's like a slide bar, which means that I can adjust the position. My Lowry stand travels with me if I go somewhere, usually. Although it didn't this time, but it has travelled with me because it's not necessarily a lightweight stand, but it's easily transportable. Oh, you're very welcome. How do I weight my Lowry? Right. The Lowry, the large plate, is underneath the edge of my sofa. So the actual sofa is weighing it down. So if you imagine that's the clamp, that's the arm, and then you've got the main leg. The bottom plate is tucked underneath. So it's in like a reverse C shape, if that makes sense. So tucking it under the sofa, it can lean back, but not by very much.
Oh, come here.
But because I'm actually using it above the flat base, I think that kind of gives it a bit more stability rather than having it in an S shape, if that makes sense. If I had the base turned around the other way, it'd fall over no end of times. Let's move my stitching interview. And the thing is with these Lowrys as well, these Lowry clamps are magnetic. So you can pop your needle minder on those if you're not happy to put them on your fabric. Because like this needle minder, I love it. But as you can see, it goes in a dip. Whereas I'm just trying to pick it up. Whereas this one from Gecko Rouge is flat, but that's in a dip. So this one I'm not so keen to put on my fabric because it will create a little bump, but I'll happily pop it on my Lowry. And I can do the same with my Gecko Rouge ones as well. So, and I did have my scissors attached to my Lowry on a chain, like a string that I crocheted as well. But when I started to take it on my travels, it became a bit more awkward. But I never lost a pair of scissors. But yeah, I've had this Lowry now for 2 years, I think. And it was one of those on offer, not via the factory. It was a sign up to a subscription to World of Cross Stitching magazine and get a Lowry stand. So that's what I did. I still want a longer bar for it. And there's a few Lowry accessories knocking about which I want to have a look at. But to be fair, as it is just the basic stand, it operates just fine. It's wonderful. But because my right hand is the top hand, I have to have the clamp twisty bit underneath, or otherwise I'd just be constantly knocking my hand on it. I did have a stand, I think it was a Siesta stand that sort of came in and there was a clamp at the top. And that was all right, but it just sort of seemed to, over time, the clamps seemed to weaken. And, you know, you'd be forever tightening the thing up. But with this, it's because it's all metal, I don't have that problem. And I had to get sort of new screws and wing nuts for the, no, not a Siesta one, it was an LBC one.
Yeah.
You all right there, dear?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've got on well today. I've done a fair few bits of stuff.
Cool.
I've planned all the routes for where I'm going in Derbyshire later this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you, if there's anyone out there in Derbyshire, I'm sorry to say this, but I'll be pleased when it's finished. It is one of the hardest counties to cover.
Yeah.
It's really difficult because the everything's so spread out. And
You'll have this though, Andy, won't you?
Yeah. Hills everywhere.
I have a Lowry, I couldn't get on with it weighted correctly, it wobbled under my chair, now back in the box. Yeah. You know, it's like everything, Sharon. Some people get on with certain things better than others. I can't get on with Q-snap frames. I can't use them. I have tried. I had one. I tried it a couple of times.
Still
I
got it
can't.
somewhere, haven't you?
No, I gave it to Aunt Andrea
Oh.
because she didn't like the hoops because they were too thin.
Ah.
But I've tried with a Q-snap. I can't get on with it. I prefer hoops or scroll frames for bigger pieces. It's really is very much each their own, isn't it? I'm in a Facebook group, Cross Stitch Stands and Frames, I think it's called. And I very often sort of have a mooch in there and see what other stands are about. And there's some amazing looking ones, you know, like the Omanic ones, and there's the ones that come out of the Ukraine. I can't remember what they're called. I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. And then you see the Gus's ones and the Needle Needs and
Cafe.
no.
Sorry.
I can't.
Couldn't resist that.
I can't get my word round it. Necessary or something it's called, stand. But anyway, for me, this one has sort of come out well, and I can I can work with it. So, yeah. Jodie, you're not a Q-snap person either. No, I couldn't get on with it. I tried and tried, and I tried it with both stamped cross stitch and with countered. Wasn't having a bar. And I see lots of people using Q-snaps, but nope. Hi, Esther. Don't worry about being late. You're never late. I'm sure you were just distracted by your stitching.
That's a good thing to be distracted by.
Yeah. And of course, as ever, this will be on replay, so you'll not miss. We've had quite a nice hour and 20 so far.
Yeah, you normally have an hour and a half, don't you?
Yeah.
That's okay, just enough time to finish this.
It is a nice way to round off my week. I absolutely love it. I beg your parsnips.
Sorry, I was trying to work out where something goes in alphabetical order. Derbyshire is next.
There we go. What's that colour on? Mark off these ones so I don't get confused. Although it's not hard to keep up with this one if I did cross a finger. It's one of those patterns that's dead easy to follow. Quite a lot now, 36 people in here watching this. So if you are in here and you haven't said hi, 37, then hi. It's lovely to have you. Jodie also looks forward to these Sundays, yes. Esther's trying out Q-snap and hoops to see which you like better. Now, these plastic hoops that I'm using, for me, they work, but I also like wooden hoops. I have no real preference between the two. But as I said, Q-snaps, no, was not happening for me. I bought the Q-snap that I had at a discount price. It was one of them things where I was lucky enough to see that there was like a discount code, which essentially made it free with free shipping kind of thing. It was a few years ago now, and I ordered it. And I was quite excited when I got it. It was only an 8x8, so it wasn't a massive one. But then I couldn't get on with it. And I was so, not frustrated, that's the wrong word. But I was disappointed because I'd heard such good things about them. Oh yes, use your Q-snap, they're lovely things to use, etc., etc. Nope. My stitching definitely said no. And, you know, to be fair, I'd kept it for a while. I bought it when I was living at my old house. It was only, 3 years ago, I think it was, 2 or 3 years ago when I gave it to my sister. So I tried it out periodically over a lot of, you know, a long period of time. Oh dear. Oh dear. I like the Nerge hoop so far. I've not got a Nerge, but I've heard good things about them, and they are down on my list to have a look at. I've seen them at the needlework retreat that I went to and seen them in action. A few people had Nerge hoops. So but yeah, I don't mind the round hoops. But as I said, I've seen the nurges in action, just yet to add some to my collection. I've got a couple of large sort of freestanding clip frames as well, but I'm not using them at the moment. I like the deep wooden nurge hoop. They aren't loads of money on Etsy either. Oh, I might have to have a look then on Etsy. Would you say wood or plastic? For the nurge hoops, guys, because if there's a wooden one, I mean, I don't mind either. I like nurge too to stitch in hand, but the nurges are very light and comfortable in the hand. Yeah, that's what I noticed about them at the retreat. They seem to be, you know, quite quite lightweight, and you know, had a decent system for fastening.
Are you off to bed? Bye then.
I've got a stain from a hoop with a brass clasp from holding it in hand during a hot summer. Yeah, that's the only problem. All right, no night, chicken. I'll get a good night's sleep, okay? Love you.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
That's Lauren saying bye-bye. She's off to bed, bless her. Yeah. In the summer, if you're going to hold where the clamp is, then yeah, it's going to sweat. You know, your palm's going to sweat, isn't it? Was it like a greenie mark, Katinka? Plastic, because the wood finish on a wood nurse is a bit rough. Oh, good tip. Thank you for that. Bye, Esther. And bye, Linda. There's a UK store on Etsy that does free postage. Oh, cool. I'll have a look. Oh, sorry. My apologies. I see you saying good night to Lauren now. And bye to Lauren. Yeah. She's gone to bed, bless her. She's got such of the collie wobbles, but she'll be fine, I'm sure. She needs a good night's sleep, I think. Hi, Linda. Hi, Nicola. Decided to join you today. I have the Lowry, but occasionally use the Nurge lap stand. Don't get on with Q-snaps, but love both plastic and wooden Nurge. Great stuff. That helps no end, Linda. The more recommendations I get, the better it is. Nurge lap stand. I don't know. I might have to look that one up. Yep. I got it, Linda. I twigged that, you know, you were saying bye to Lauren. It's because there's a slight delay in your messages coming through. So, you know, obviously it just confuses me a bit. Yes, blue-green from the copper. Yeah. And they're terrible to get out, aren't they? Those kind of stains. That's why, I mean, there's a lot to be said for taking your work out of the hoop every time and stuff like that. But I mean, the other thing, Katinka, is we would say sort of wrap your hoop, or, you know, or stitch in the ditch, put your hoop on the opposite way around, so that any staining is on the reverse side. But wrapping your hoop's not going to solve the problem, because if you wrap around where the clamp is, how are you going to tighten it and loosen it? The plastic snares I use are the square ones. Yep. The square ones that I've seen at the retreat, and, you know, sort of seen them in action. Is there a Q-snap stand holder? There's a corner holder. There's a corner clamp for Q-snaps for the Lowry stand. Obviously, I don't have it because I don't have a Q-snap. But yeah, there is a corner clamp for the Q-snap for the Lowry. I don't know of any other stands though for the Lowry. I don't know if anybody else in here might know. Any other stands for a Q-snap? I'm learning a lot. I appreciate it. Oh, no problem at all, Linda. No problem. That's the thing. The good thing about these sessions is that they enable everybody to pool their information, and, you know, we can pass on tips in this community. It's great to be able to do that. I learn an awful lot.
Nikki, I'm going to be upstairs as
Okay,
well.
okay, lovely.
Bye-bye, people. I'm off now.
Yeah, Andy's off. So, yeah, you solve that by switching to Q snap. Yeah. No metal, of course, on a Q snap. Everybody's deserted us. Oh, that'd be why, because it's 9:30. Hi, Nicola. When you wrap a hoop, you do the inside hoop and the clamp is not. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, if you kind of looked at what I was saying, Karen, is if you're looking to wrap the outer part of a hoop, then you can't sort of really wrap that around the fastening, because then you wouldn't be able to use the fastening, so it would just be inside, wouldn't it? I don't think I've ever wrapped a hoop. Even my wooden ones, I don't think I've ever wrapped. I shall have to do a mark off in a minute, and we should be getting ready to wind down as well, because it is well past 9:30. This is the longest live so far, guys and gals. Oh, being joined by the lesser spotted elder child. Hi. Oh, that's lovely. Can I show everyone what you've been doing? Now, Hannah is not crafty at all.
These bloody nails.
Do you want me to do it for you?
I've got it just.
Okay. Hannah is not crafty at all, but it looks like she is getting a crafting bug. I just want to show you this before we sign off for the evening.
I have to do it. I can't get it.
I'll do it for you in a sec. Look at this. Looks like we've got a diamond painter in the house. That's fantastic, Hannah. Absolutely beautiful.
Took me a week.
Yeah, it's taken her a week to do it, but you know, isn't that great? Well done, kid. She's an absolute little treasure, this one.
Oh, I had Angel earlier.
Andy. Everybody's saying beautiful, gorgeous, great job, looks great. So there you go, Hannah. Yeah. You see that the elder child is getting the crafting bug. Isn't she fantastic? So yeah, we were out and we saw this diamond painting kit in Nottingham, and obviously she's decided to do it, and it'll be a nice little, like a tree ornament, I think. Just gorgeous. So proud. Such a proud mum. Right, I am going to clear off because it is turned 9:30. I have done, believe it or not, nearly 300 stitches, 295 stitches in there. And this piece is now up to nearly 15.5%, so it is cracking along at a fair old whip. Oh, Rose, you're stitching hand since you broke your arm. I've not stitched in hand for a long time. So, but if it works for you, it works. Right, so I'm going to go and wish you all a very good evening. Thank you all so much for joining me. And, you know, do come back for my next one, next Sunday as usual. I don't know what project I'll be working on. Let's see if I can have a prediction. We're working at least 3 projects this week, if not 4. So might be Mary Princess next week. We'll have to see. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. It's been fabulous to talk, to chat, to interact with you all. And I love your comments and, you know, and everything that you interact with me with. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.